We're going to look at Trucker Path as an app that I use for trucking. Is it worth $99 for the year? So I'm just going to try to show you a little bit. You'll have to play with it yourself, but I'll just give you a little bit of a visual on kind of the main things I use it for. Primarily, I'm looking for way stations if I need to know if they're open or not, rest areas. You can kind of zoom in while you're in the trip planning process after you put your address in. What I'm doing now is I'm looking at some places I want to stop off at. So I'm going to go check this one out. So I click on it. It says Flying J down at the bottom. You can get more information. It tells kind of like which days, and wasn't really very impressed with that one. So I looked at the other loves, see what that's looking like. Shows, it kind of gives you an idea, and this is all truckers inputting, so they can tell you if there's a lot of spots, not many spots, or if it's full. It's pretty accurate. You only need one spot. So I'm looking around, trying to figure out where I might want to stop for the night. So I checked this AB out, America's Best. Not really much to offer there. As you can see, it'll tell you different things. Like this is a rest area. Tells different days, a little bit of history, what you can anticipate. So I'm just checking out. This is my typical trip planning process. I'm just looking at some different places along the route. So look at this Loves here. Looks promising. You can look at the history, and it shows lots of them, lots of spots. Looking at the pilot, I prefer to have truck stops that are on the right hand side of the road, but that doesn't always work out the same way. I like stopping at Loves because that's where I fuel when I can. I think they give the best points. When you can check out restaurants, it's nice. It's got a Subway. So I like that. Got a McDonald's. And you'll see also, like, so I'm checking out the pilot, looking at the restaurants, but to the middle there you see reviews. You can also get reviews, and you'll find out little things like whether they charge for parking if you're going to a random truck stop you don't know about, especially up in the Northeast. So the reviews can be helpful too. But I think I'm going to just take this Loves and I'm going to add it to, see, I think that's the one I did, yeah. So I'm going to add it to my trip, I think. And I'm checking this one out above Indianapolis. Checking the restaurants out. I like to go to Denny's if I can. Just go in and grab something. Gives a pretty wide range. I like the TA, the Petros. Grab a decent meal since you got to sit in the truck. So this is kind of a typical exploring. Now you get some senior truckers out there, veterans, that they know all the truck stops. They don't have to go through all this. But if you're new and you don't know where to stop, this is how you develop your knowledge. So I think here shortly I'm going to figure out which one I want. I think that's the one I wanted to go at because it's got a. So I can also see how many truck stops. I like that. There's 170 or something like that. That is that's good for me because usually I'll find at least one spot there. It's got a Denny's. I like Denny's. So yeah, probably looking at stopping at that one. So I click on it, and then down there it'll say add to trip. You can also check the history of which days. Because this is Sunday, I'll be out there trying to stop on Monday. And I think it looks okay on Monday. So I click on it, and I think I click, yeah, add to trip. So it adds the trip. This is the $99 plan. So it'll actually create navigation for you. So I use it in conjunction with my Rand McNally. Now what I do is I'm going to go ahead and scroll up to the top of where I'm going to, my destination. And instead of having to use Google Earth, this is basically Google Maps, I think. It's a truck route, Google Maps. And you can also, looks like I'm looking for checking out another spot here. So now I'm going to zoom in, take a look at my actual, where I'm going to enter into the dock or the guard shack. So I can see I'll probably come in possibly up on the top in there. Looking for a guard shack entrance. Looks like that might be the exit because there's only one guard shack and it's on the right side. So that could be an entrance. That's either the entrance or the exit. So then I want to see if I can see a flow. Sometimes there's a one way in, one way out. Looks like this may be the case here. There's a guard shack on the way out too. So not sure which way I'm going to go in or out. That's possibly it. So I'll just have to look for the signs when I come down the road. Something else that's kind of interesting on this is it's new to the trucker path. I just noticed it, and you could see the COVID-19 cases that are in the area for any of the germaphobes out there. There you go. You see, got some there's some cases up in that area, but that's far from where I'm at. So is that, so I'm not terribly worried about it. I suppose if you click on it, you can get an idea of the cases and stuff like that. So that's new. I just noticed that. It's a pretty good app. I've used it for a year. It's improved a lot. I knew it was coming to the point where they're going to start charging. I wasn't happy about spending $100. But at the end of the day, it is a really great tool when you're driving down the road and something's going on and you decide you want to stop at a way station to sleep for the night, or a rest area, or you're going to change from the original trip plan that you were going to stop at. So once you hit the navigate, it'll bring you back into basically ready to roll. And there's a little squiggly line to the top right that if you select it, let's see if I can do it here. If you hit that, then you'll go all the way back up high in the air so you can see the whole trip. You select it again and it'll take you right back to where you're going to start running from. If you ever want to change anything, you got to hit the bottom left button, quit, and go back into the trip plan and make your changes. It takes a little getting used to get familiar with it. Mostly something I've been working on for a year, so I'm just really familiar with it. That's why I was anxious to go ahead and use it. And for me, I check, I can tell if way stations are open. I can tell what rest areas and stuff like that are coming up, and usually get a little information. So it's just kind of it's a good tool for me. It's something that I use.